Hello and welcome to another custom progress video. This week we are working on the MG Gem Sniper 2. That's a mouthful. Specifically, we are working on my custom project for Shoki Review's MS100 Custom Charity Contest. But we don't have a whole lot of time. We really need to get started on this and hopefully to beat the rain. Okay, so after giving it some thought, I think I know what I'm going to do. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but my idea behind this is that it's going to be part of this Lonely Star side story idea that I have, which takes place in Texas for the most part during the 1 Year War and a little bit afterwards. And so this unit has their own color scheme, which is primarily blue and white. So that's the main thing I'm doing here. So a lot of the stuff that is dark blue is going to stay dark blue, but I'm going to paint it a different shade. I have the paint for that. This light blue stuff, that's going to be changed to white. And then like the shoulder armor and the armor on the forearms and on the legs is also going to be done up in this dark blue. What I also want to do is keep those bits as glossy as I can, at least while still doing some weathering, while the white bits are going to be matte, because I like this idea that this stuff is more like external armor than the rest of it, so it's going to have a slightly different sheen to it. At the very least, it sounds really cool and looks kind of cool in my head, so we're going to go with that. I can't think of any other modifications to do kit bashing wise. I really want this thing to kind of remain a little bit more down to earth, so attaching a giant gun to this thing just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, especially since this guy has his sniper rifle. I thought about trying to attach like his little beam machine gun, whatever this thing is, on his shoulder, but I just couldn't quite figure out how to get it to look the way I would want it and still have this guy be practical for being a sniper, because that's the whole point of this being a sniper unit, right? The other thing I'm still kind of fleshing out is what color these red bits are going to be. I'd like them to still stand out, but I don't know if I want them to be red, because that just feels like I'm doing the same color scheme a little bit too much. So that's probably something that I'm going to kind of come up with along the way. The other aspect that I'm doing on this is I am going to weather, and I want to try to make this look like it's something that's been, standing out in sort of the hot desert for a while. So stuff is going to have some glossy bits on it, but it's not going to be super glossy all over, and parts of those are still going to look like maybe they have sand or dirt or maybe a little bit of rust swept into it. And I'm probably also going to do a little bit of painting on the inner frame bits, just so that everything looks kind of like it's been painted, so that everything has been painted. So the main thing that I'm going to have to do now to get this party started is to disassemble and get things set aside for painting. And I'm probably going to have to do this in sections, because there's a lot of parts going on here, and I only have so many of the alligator clips. So we're going to see where this goes. The kind of ultimate idea, where if I have enough time and the supplies to do so, I think I want to do a diorama, and that's going to push me into the advanced level, provided I'm able to get to that. So when I enter into this, I am going to go ahead and enter as intermediate, but pay the advanced amount, just in case I happen to basically face plant myself into there. So we'll see what happens. I just don't know if I'm going to have the time or materials for that. I'm excited to try though. So let's see what happens. But first, disassembly. He's been disarmed. We have fun over here. Anyway, so I have disassembled his right arm for the most part. As you can see, there's still some components left in the shoulder, and those will have to come later because they're all kind of hidden behind the armor for the back and front. I also went ahead and took apart the backpack. I'm still debating on what color the outside of the backpack thrusters are going to be. The default thing is this dark blue, the same as the rest of the armor. I just don't know if I want to do that or not. I feel like that might be very samey, but I can't think of another color right now. So those may go off to the side for a sec. But I do know what I'm doing here. So this piece right here is going to be white. These pieces right here, I'm going to go ahead and do the mica red. I think I should have enough for that. These pieces here are going to be in a sort of dark metallic blue. And then over here, they're at the very least, these are going to get sort of a light dusting of the gunmetal gray that I have. I may end up getting, or need to get more of that paint, just because I think I may have underestimated how much I was going to need. But yeah, so it's not the biggest start, but it is a start nonetheless. I only have like one alligator clip left right now. So, but before I paint these in their final colors, I am going to go ahead and basically do a, at the very least, a thin layer of white paint to just sort of start everything off. Maybe not on the gunmetal parts. But yeah, so I'm gonna get those loaded up on my styrofoam and get started on that as soon as I can. So here's the end result of that painting session. Did have to go back in and repaint, I think it was this one and this one, just because the coating on it wasn't quite as good as it should have been. And yeah, you'll see that I decided to go ahead and do the backpack in black. Because that just seemed like the right idea to do. Letting the piece guide me, I guess. And yeah, painting is going pretty good so far. You'll notice that I did use some sticky tack right here to like cover up some of the like post holes and stuff like that. So hopefully I don't have as much issues with paint basically causing issues with fitting or something like that. We'll see how well that thought process works in the end. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. Oh, something I wanted to mention earlier. This kit is like super friendly to disassembly, really. It almost feels like it was meant for this kind of process. So that's actually pretty cool. But yeah, so now the question is, do I start reassembling it and then adding my weathering, or should I do the weathering with it taken apart? That's something that I'm going to think about. All I know is that I can't leave these on the clips and sticks for too long because, well, I still got a lot of kit to do. Anyway, I'm going to figure that out and keep going. I got impatient. Okay, so here is what the arm looks like all assembled, and I am super happy with how this turned out. I may need to redo some of the paint here because obviously some of it didn't get hit with the paint, but that's okay. But overall, this looks really cool, and it's making me contemplate just keeping this thing clean. I also went ahead and got the backpack assembled, and that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna have to be careful with it though, because the black paint still feels kind of tacky, and I'm worried I'm already leaving fingerprints on it. Hopefully that's something I'll be able to clean up later somehow. We don't know. Anyway, But so far, so good. This really kind of confirms how everything's going to look, and I'm pretty darn happy about it. So yeah, that just means it's now time to do this again with the other arm. And here it is. Got both arms pretty much done with the main paint. Still probably going to do a little hand painting details here and there, plus whatever weathering I plan on doing. And the shield is done. The arms aren't really attached properly right now because when I tried to reattach them, the little pistons and stuff inside the shoulders kind of tried to fall apart on me. So I'm going to have to disassemble all that in order to get everything reattached, but that's fine. But so far, this is looking really good. I am super happy with how this is going. Plus, it's actually going pretty darn quick. I'm kind of surprised. So yeah, let's keep going. Next day, and I got the parts of the torso all painted up and they are dry. So I'm gonna get everything off the sticks and get things ready to paint. And wait, what's that sound? Oh, for the love of...